Martha, what do you define as cheating?
To me, cheating is just lying, really.
About 30% of affairs actually happen between co-workers. It's understandable because you spend a lot of time together on projects. You respect how they are mentally and they are nice and kind to you. So we spend so much of our time at work, and definitely being humans, we develop relationships just like anything.
Dr. Martha, why do you love your job?
I love helping people and I love sex.
Oh, okay. And then I'm surprised your friends didn't like sex. Like friends were
A lot of them have difficulties on it.
wow, my friends around me love it so much, but they're so private about it. Hey, all of you, you know what? You know who I'm talking about. You guys are so addicted to that, but you never say it. They go to people and say like, oh, I don't want it, I'm not like that. But behind it, they're so crazy about it. Like, why are they just so not being honest?
Yes, I wonder about the type of friends you associate with. Change friends.
Who's that? Oh, it's you guys! Hey everyone, welcome and join us on this journey of Singapura, not tempura, where we are your best companion, all things Singapura and beyond.
Deep dive with us into the heart of the Lion City, exploring the vibrant culture with a dash of Singaporean spice.
How about her? Good or not?
Share and subscribe.
See you on the airwaves! Welcome back everybody to a whole new episode of Singapura, not tempura. But today we've got a doctor with us, to be honest, but it's still SNT because this doctor is by PhD. So to be honest, we are so excited. We're so excited of what we're gonna be talking about today. Something really juicy, something spicy, something that can speak to your heart because it's about cheating. And so, cheating, why does it happen? What is cheating? Is there micro cheating? Is there macro cheating? Why do people cheat even in a happy relationship? Can that be prevented? Or maybe perhaps, what can we do to better stay faithful? Right? But today we've got an expert. We have with us today, Dr. Martha Tiara Lee. All right, Dr. Martha, wow, welcome into the channel. How are you doing today?
Good.
Doing good. So, Dr. Martha Lee, you are a relationship counselor and a clinical sexologist. Dr. Martha, why do you love your job?
I love helping people and I love sex.
Oh, okay. And then
So I got into this because I realized that everybody around me, all my friends, they didn't like sex. They were afraid of sex, not having sex, or had painful sex. And I was like, okay, if this is going to be like a big part of being an adult, like why is nobody addressing this and helping people, having meaningful conversations around sexuality? So that's why I went, got my doctorate. I didn't want to be treated like some kind of fool because this topic being so sensitive, if I didn't have the credentials, people were not going to take me seriously. So I got my doctorate, came back, started my practice. And many years later, I also then got a master's in counseling, which really helped make everything much more legitimate. Because I think they didn't know where to place me. But once I got my master's in counseling, actually more doors opened up for me.
Right. Wow, you kind of speak my mind a little bit because in our Asian culture, sex is like a very, closed door topic, right? You can't talk about it in public, or even among your friends. It seems so taboo to talk about it. But I do support the idea that we should be more mindful. We should be more able to speak about it more freely and to have a mature conversation about sex because it is a healthy part of life.
Yeah, it's just like any other topic. A lot of people feel uncomfortable about this topic, so they never get the practice.
Correct.
And then this translates to difficulties in their personal life.
Correct, exactly. I totally agree with you. And they can easily dismiss it as being disrespectful if you talk about sex, among your friends. Maybe I should get a doctorate or a master's as well, same like you, so that I can talk about it with my friends more openly.
Okay, welcome.
You're welcome
to the profession.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Nice. Okay, today, first and foremost, Martha, what do you define as cheating?
To me, cheating is just lying, really. can be different forms of cheating. There's people say it's not so bad when it's just physical, but then there's emotional, and then there's financial. There's also micro cheating.
Yes.
That is a bit questionable whether it's cheating, because if you just close one eye, then maybe it's not real outright cheating, things like that. But essentially, it's lying or hiding parts of yourself just because you're afraid of not being accepted.
Right. So in a way, dishonesty is at the core of cheating itself, right? Ultimately.
Dishonesty, which can erode trust, can break down communication, relationship.
Right. I have a saying like this: honesty attracts mercy. Dishonesty brings disaster. Doctor agrees. Dr. Sewano. Solid. So first and foremost, one of the things that I think caught our attention, right, in this whole entire why we even talking about it in the first place was because if you definitely saw online, there was this part where there's a Coldplay concert going on, and then you have this kiss cam, yep, right, and then there was this couple that they got kind of like quote unquote caught on kiss cam, and they were actually really having an affair. Right, one is like the HR manager, and one is the CEO of that big company. What was your thoughts on that one?
I think it was pretty obvious because of their behavior that they were embarrassed. They didn't expect to be caught, and there was a lot going on, and like people online trying to find out their identity and harassing them. They had to shut down their social media accounts and come out and make public apologies. So I think we can say is their personal life is none of anybody's business.
Yeah.
However, they are representative of their company, and the company does have its image and reputation to upkeep. So what really is debatable is really the integrity of the person, which is why a lot of people have had to resign.
If let's say the person has no no integrity to uphold, let's say he's just not anybody, right? Like, would you be okay if let's say someone is having an affair, like, or would you just say that it is wrong anywhere, everywhere?
I think integrity is not just professional integrity, it's also your personal integrity, like what you want to do with your life, what you stand up for, and you need to ask yourself, because you can just get swept away by the romance or the moment. You can just do what you want, be irresponsible about the consequences or impact on people around you.
Yeah.
We can just do whatever we want with our lives. It's, after all, your life. But the reality is, are you happy? Is this really in alignment of who you are, where you want to go, what you want to be? And so I don't think integrity should be, because you're a president or you're a CEO or you're a minister, therefore you should have more integrity than others. I don't think the standard should be any higher or lower just because of who they are. Because, but it is true, when you're a public figure, people look up to you.
But do you agree that, workplace affairs happen often? In fact, to be honest, I think I've read this many times, that most affairs of marriages happen in the office.
So I looked it up. About 30% of affairs actually happen between co-workers. It's understandable because you spend a lot of time together on projects. You respect how they are mentally, and they are nice and kind to you. So we spend so much of our time at work, and definitely being humans, we develop relationships just like anything, and also respect. So this is where the line can start to become blurred. So towing the line and developing crushes, which can lead to full-blown affair.
Right.
I think a lot of people that I know of who get involved in affairs, they first of all did not see themselves going into it. It's almost like being a bit naive around these things. They didn't know the signs. So they get swept away, and then they start going on this, feel bad, I shouldn't be doing this, like guilt tripping themselves. But what happens with affairs is, because of the forbidden nature, it is exciting. So anything that's exciting and makes you feel alive, feel like a child, make you feel like looking forward to life, to work, some people actually say, because it's so good, the sex is so good, I don't have any regrets. And I think some of them actually become a bit desensitized, because how long do you want to feel bad? So there's this kind of like good and bad feeling around it. And so they just kind of like become desensitized, like don't even want to think about it, just focus on what the moment that they can have, and then how long can they last, they do not know. They just want to relish it.
Right. I mean, I did think about it before. One thing is that in the workplace you have a common goal, right? While at home you may not have a common goal. You have a project, you got a common goal with that person at workplace. Does that play a big part in
Of course.
this workplace affair?
Yes, being aligned,
Yeah.
working together, therefore you develop like a rapport, chemistry, you want to call it. What more in this particular case, we co-play the woman is actually in HR.
Yeah.
And HR is known to be the emotional container for a lot of people.
Yes.
So they hold secrets.
Yes.
And she will definitely work very closely with the CEO. So they thought they will be out on a date, but don't forget that it is the public.
Yeah.
And when you're in the public, there is nothing wrong with being videoed,
Yeah.
like on the streets. Actually, this is public space.
Yeah.
But this is a concert, and the concert, pretty much obvious that they will also be taking photographs and things like that.
Right.
So in a way, they kind of set themselves up for the likelihood of being discovered. So yeah, they thought they can go unrecognized and all that.
But what,
Unfortunately, got caught.
how do you think like couples in marriages or even like boyfriend girlfriends, how can they work on having a better common goal that can keep them together in that sense, right?
So I have a lot of clients, they are very different. Morning, night, introvert, extrovert, thinker, feeler, these kind of things. The thing that actually keeps a lot of them together is the vision that they have for their future.
Right.
There are certain things that are downright deal breakers, like wanting a child or not wanting a child, where you want to retire, what you want to do with your money, your savings, your investments. This causes a lot of tension in a relationship.
Yes.
So having common vision and values are very, very important when it comes to coming together as a couple. And these things need to be addressed and talked about, which is why they come up during marriage preparation courses. And people need to take marriage counseling or pre-marriage counseling seriously. But it also depends on the maturity level and the willingness of the persons.
Right. Wow, that is a lot. And honestly, I felt like my engine just got started. And I love to talk about this relationship stuff with some of my friends. So with my best friend here for this kind of topic, definitely we can go a long, long time. One thing that, I guess we can really go into deeper is, why do people cheat ultimately?
I don't think there's one real reason. There could be many, many reasons. One of it is, I call it entitlement. People who feel like they deserve all the good things, and they want it, but they don't want their partner to also do the same thing.
Right.
They want variety.
Yeah.
They want something different. Or a lot of cases, they find that they are not getting something in their primary relationship, and so they try to, I call it, farm it out. Like,
Right.
Just look elsewhere and to fill that gap or that bucket.
Right.
But in doing that, they're not recognizing it's so painful because their partner is not doing that, and their partner is hoping that their bucket gets filled as well, but they're getting it filled elsewhere. So it is a betrayal. It can really be very hurtful because one is giving their all and the other is looking elsewhere.
Right.
So why they cheat, I usually say first is entitlement, second is there's a problem, they want to farm it out, and third is FOMO, fear of missing out. Or I do hear this, people saying like, I don't know how long I can be sexual, I'm not going to have these looks for a long time, I don't want to have any regrets. Yeah, it's one thing, but it's another thing to be denying your partner the same rights. Surprisingly, actually, a lot of people who cheat never disclose it. About 25% of people will at some point disclose their affair. That means there's so many people who actually don't talk about it. And like I said, it's a bit of it's lying to your partner and a bit of entitlement. And like, it's kind of like, I want my cake and eat it, but you can't have it. Then there's another one, which is where you open up the relationship, where you actually talk about it and get some kind of a consent, even if it's a reluctant consent, but at least you are not hiding anything.
What we call open relationship. Right.
Actually, it's much more common than you realize, because
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients. They say, "Oh, my partner said I can go out and find someone else, find a sex worker, go on Tinder, whatever." But I don't know whether they're joking. You know. So a lot of times, actually, this comes up because they have that pressure and the fear of making their partner angry and not satisfying their partner. But when it comes from a place of pain, for them to say that, actually, it's really bringing them together to be able to reconcile what actually are they really feeling, what actually are they meaning, and what actually do they need. I think a lot of times they don't communicate what they need. And also the styles of sex can be quite different, and the sex drives can be quite different. So in my work, I do a lot of this navigating these kind of tough conversations,
Right.
preferences, needs, boundaries.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you make comment about high sex drive?
Okay, that's the physical way of getting higher sex drive. You can go for like TCM, you can go for medication. There are people who take Viagra,
Oh, yeah, Viagra.
supplements, things like that. But there are even women who go on testosterone, right, to have a higher drive.
Yeah.
But actually, sex is so much more than just physical. This is why FDA wanted to come out with the female Viagra. They've been talking about it ever since, even before I started my practice. And it's not out, it's not really like working because sex is so much more than physical.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
to do with mental, emotional.
Yeah.
So this is where couples are so different, heterosexual ones especially, because they're so different. So this is where I get them to really understand, because you really, really shouldn't be forcing someone to have sex with you. This kind of pressure is basically abuse. And so you need to understand where they're coming from, what is important for them, and to negotiate the differences.
Right.
It cannot be, oh, sex is always your way. What about the other way? What about their way? So I get them to discuss their differences and to have better understanding.
Right. Right.
You'll be surprised, just by understanding each other more, a lot of things do shift.
Right. Honestly, just a side question, maybe perhaps that pop up in my mind. I mean, I'm still not married. I'm still single right now, by the way. So maybe some things that my friends would ask is like, for example, do you think sex before marriage actually can possibly create, a high chance of being divorced or a high chance of cheating when they're married? Or will abstaining while you're in a relationship help to have a longer lasting marriage?
I think this is an age-old question, and I think I grappled with it a lot when I was younger as well. But I have to say that in this day and age, it may not be the most beneficial thing to abstain until marriage, because some people, they actually just like lock away or just shut down their sexuality for good 10, 20 years before marriage, and they are not connected, comfortable with their sexuality. And so they may also have different sexual values and attitudes, which can cause a lot of difficulties after marriage. I know of some people who regret waiting until marriage to have sex. And I was very surprised when I started my practice that a lot of them choose to abstain from sex before marriage, not because of religious reasons, but because they say things like, this is my Asian values, these my values don't allow. What if I get pregnant, and things like that. And then after marriage, having so much difficulties with sex, so much difficulties with pregnancy, and then actually regretting all those years that they chose not be sexual. So I never ever tell anyone to, what they do with their lives. I just support them. So essentially, with clients who come in with these kinds of questions, we just have a discussion. We weigh the pros and cons. I let them decide, because it's their life.
Yeah.
And as counselors, we support clients. But it is a very, very difficult question. I know of clients who did have sex with their partner before marriage, and then somewhere along the way started to have guilt, and then didn't want to have sex anymore. So there are also cases people had it and then didn't want to.
Wow.
And this caused a lot of difficulties with their partner, the sexual frustration, because in order to be around them and to not be sexual, they actually feel that they have to shut down their sexuality. So it doesn't just affect one person, it affects the other person. And then the way they relate to each other, meaning like stop seeing them as a sexual person.
Right.
And then like after marriage, actually you can't just like switch a button or flip and then a switch and then like it works now, no problem work. Actually
Wow.
the disconnect continues even after marriage.
Well, I feel so educated. I feel so educated now. I think after this session, I can be a doctor as well, or a sexologist.
Yeah, after this session you're gonna go out and have sex, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I think so. I don't know. I didn't bring protection. Back to the idea, right? So when someone cheats in a relationship, especially sexual cheating or emotional cheating, do you think there could be a problem in the relationship or a problem with the cheater?
So my work is a bit like a private investigator to leave no stones unturned.
Yeah.
So they come in, they tell me what's going on, and then I ask questions, and then we uncover. Not I tell them, but they pretty much, from seeing everything, give me the lowdown of what is the truth for them. So it's kind of like they're doing, but maybe there are other things going on, they're subconscious that they don't realize. So we unpack all that. And a lot of times it could be a combination of all.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's usually not one thing. So yes, there could be boredom, there could be emotional neglect, there could be sexual abuse, there could be some kind of a trauma, there could be dysfunctional communication, there could be parenting conflicts, there could be anxiety around finances, and then on top of everything, in-laws. Yeah, so a lot of possibilities.
I'm learning a lot from you. I would want people to come to me as well and talk to me about it. And I can be a doctor, a sexologist, but you gotta call me daddy in my clinic. Don't call me by name. Call me daddy.
So I have clients who cheat, and they often ask me how to stop.
Yeah.
So I ask them about the question of integrity. And one of the things I say is maybe you start by just heightening your awareness of how you feel when you cheat. And from there, starting to guide them to ask questions around their vision for themselves and how what they're doing is not congruent with what they want of themselves. So basically, polishing the lenses so that it's clearer,
Right.
and getting them to reflect on who they really want to be. So yeah, supporting them.
So about gender, about what I call double standards. Yeah. Would you say a man cheating and a woman cheating, is it the same?
Actually, nowadays, a lot of women that I work with, they are more likely to cheat. And I think we come to associate that men cheat because of sexual reason. They feel frustrated, they want to have sex, it's just a physical thing.
Yeah.
That may just be the excuse. They may also be having emotional neglect in a relationship. For women, a lot of times they are feeling the emotional disconnect, and then they want their emotional needs met. That is the traditional way of how we frame it.
Yes,
Like men want sex, women want emotions. That's the traditional way. But I've also seen clients who they are not getting good sex. They are not getting any sex, and then they chose to cheat because they don't want to rock the boat.
Right.
Such as like, oh, my parents really love my husband, things like that.
Right.
Regardless of who is right or wrong, or what is the form of cheating, I want to say that cheating can cause a lot of pain. Leading a double life is difficult, and it does weigh on their mental toll over time, and it can erode their sense of who they are.
Right.
A bit of like over time, like a identity crisis. Who am I? And that is tiring. So there are a lot of cases people say, oh yeah, they were happy, they were discovered. They were happy because they don't need to put up with pretenses. But the work afterwards to repair the relationship, to stabilize it, repair it, is possible, but it takes a lot of effort.
Right. Perhaps also one thing to really look at is, we live in Asian society, and one thing that I also always see, for example, let's say if you see a woman growing up to be a housewife, they'll applaud her, right? You're amazing, you're a housewife, you've done it in life, you got a rich husband, and so on and so forth. If a man grows up and become a house husband, doesn't work, he looks like a loser. They'll say, you are a loser, man. Go get a job out there, go earn some money. So, but then what do you think of that? Like in a way, would you agree with that? Would you see it,
I think we need to care less what people think.
Blood that one. Put it on point.
No, seriously, I think just because we are Asians and we are all about harmony and conformity and group harmony and respect your elders, I think the younger generation is not so much like that. It's very much about who am I, what do I want? And so you can call it more individualistic. Ultimately, it's our lives, and we need to take responsibility for the decisions that we make, which will impact our lives.
Right.
And we don't blame other people.
Right.
Sure, people can say what they say, but it doesn't have to go in. It doesn't have to go in. You don't have to let it affect you. There are some very successful women CEOs who have come forward and said that their husbands are house husbands. And I think these kinds of conversations and modeling needs to be there so that women can feel that there's not a ceiling of how far I can go and how far I can aspire. That's very important.
Right, I see. But what do you think? There's one thing called the transaction theory. At the end of the day, in a marriage or in a relationship, there are two people from different bloodlines, from different families, coming together like having a contract and doing a business deal, right? I give you this, you give me this, and then we are now partnership. Like for example, say the man chooses to finance the woman for her whole life. So you can be a housewife, I'll take care of you for I'll give you the best life possible, right? Then he says, well, that gives me a right to cheat on you because, hey, I've given you all that you want, all that you need. You're just sitting down there at home enjoying my money now, right? Taking care of the kids. Hey, I can cheat on you. What do you think of that? Like that transaction theory. Does that make sense?
It's okay if they want to live their life like that with agreement. But what I find a lot of times is we want what we don't have. So once you get what you want, you realize what you want, you don't want. Because we change, we evolve. And it's okay if transaction is one of the models, and you can also argue that is love really truly unconditional. Most marriages are transactional. I do this, you do that, I did the cooking, you do the dishes, like why does it have to be a tit for tat kind of a thing? And so you get to define your relationship the way you want. So if you want a relationship that is of love and loving, then it shouldn't be so calculative, transactional. And so it is for the couple to navigate the dynamics of it. And it's what I'm finding with a lot of my clients is they are not okay with being mistreated just because they are housewives or they earn less and things like that. It does affect the power dynamic, but what happens is it's not what is going on, but the way you think about it that is causing suffering. So that's where we work around talking about it.
So talk about cheating, right? How about post-cheating? Can trust be rebuilt in a relationship after cheating? Because they say that usually a cheater never stops and a cheater will never change. What is your take as the expert in the house?
Okay, it's not true that cheaters cannot stop.
Okay.
There are people who are serial cheaters. So that is like a pattern. Actually, about 1/3 of marriages, even after cheating, they do work things out and they do stay. And you can say this is a high number or no number, but actually a lot more relationships, they do stay because of so many factors: kids, history, family, finances. So yeah, being able to rebuild the relationship with counseling. One of the first things about affairs is you have to be honest and transparent. So like being able to let your partner check your phone. Some people, they install the GPS tracking. They develop accountability for trust to be rebuilt. They talk about what they are really unhappy about and what they want to see improve in the relationship and give it time. So it is hard work. I often tell my clients when there's cheating, yes, we want to be honest, transparent. You get to ask everything you want to ask, but be careful what you ask, because don't ask what you want to ask what you need to know. And sometimes when you have too much details, you can't move past the things that is playing out in your imagination. That's the worst thing.
Right.
So honestly, transparency needs to be there, but that's why we step in as kind of like mediators. Abuse is not okay.
Right.
Like name calling, yelling, screaming, things like that. So yeah. So honestly, transparency, counseling, and then taking steps to rebuild the intimacy, including understanding that the person that they fell in love with is still there. It's just that certain shadow, dark side of them that was hidden now is coming to the surface. And we all have a shadow, dark side that maybe we're embarrassed about. We all have our little secrets. And knowing that doesn't mean the end of the relationship. It actually means that now this is real, the real deal. And being able to go even deeper into the relationship as opposed to letting it break you.
Right. That sounds really good. But what is that first step that you will advise your clients to do to rebuild the trust?
Yeah, I'll get them to first talk about it, like what happened and what has been shared, what has been reviewed, what has been attempted. And then from there, I get them to maybe write down like some of their questions that were not answered, because their partner would have answered them, but they will be like, I don't believe. And then they're going round and round. It's the same thing again and again. So that really needs intervention. This is where I like mediate that. And I really make sure whatever they hear, they understand. Because sometimes you are just so clouded, you're not listening. So I'm the third party listening to everything, and I can see whether they are really absorbing it.
Right. So in a way, when we talk about those who have traumas of cheating, right, correct, and then someone say now they have an argument, and the one who was the victim of cheating, they'll be like, hey, for sure you cheated on me, right? For sure you did this, right? For sure you did that, right?
Yes.
Like, is that?
Yes, it's common.
Is that okay?
Yes. Because it's trauma. The fear is there.
Yeah.
However, like keep digging up the past. Like you're fighting about this thing and you dig up other things that is not relevant.
Yes.
I call it hitting below the belt. Just stay on topic, one topic at a time. Otherwise, you will become overwhelmed and you are flooding your partner. And that's not fair, because there's no way they can address it properly.
Yeah.
So it's really about developing emotional maturity. And that comes with practice.
Right.
It doesn't happen to all of us automatically. A lot of times we develop these subconscious behaviors from our parents, from our family of origin.
Right.
And so we may even be acting in ways that we ourselves don't even know why we are behaving this way. So some of it is too much drama also, watching too much drama. And then it's like, this is an affair. Oh, this is how I should feel. This is how I should behave. I should cut up all his clothes. I should throw it all away. No, like that's not real. That's not real.
Come on, guys. So you will say that it is 100% realistic, possible to fix and to fully recover and rebuild the trust after cheating.
It is possible. It takes both.
Right. Can you name us 2 most effective ways for couples to heal and to move on from a betrayal?
The first thing you need to do when you have a betrayal and you want to heal is you need to heal yourself by yourself first. You don't put it on the other people.
Okay.
Like the way you feel is the way you feel.
Okay.
You may need to take time to take care of yourself.
Okay.
Whatever it is you need for yourself. And it's really like fighting a big battle every day when you're going through so much, and then you still have to show up at work and like be at your peak performance. So what I mean by take care of yourself, like if you need to take a break, like off work, if you need to take it easier, half day, if you want to like catch up with your friends, go on like spa day or things like that, like to get back your sense of you are so much a part of a unit, and there's a possibility you are no longer a unit, and then like like realizing you've lost parts of yourself along the way. So yeah, take time to find yourself again. And then the next thing is, don't forget the person that you love is still there. This person has many hats. Could be your friend, your best friend, your lover. Could be your spouse, your father or mother to your children. So could be your colleague, in certain things in life. And so they wear so many hats, but somewhere along the way, they've lost the lover hat.
Right.
And they forgot to really treat each other often with kindness. And we develop certain kinds of behavior that is actually really hurtful and painful to the partner. And so it's really going back to looking at them as a lover, as a person.
We got that point. So, to be honest, we talk a lot about cheating. They happen in the relationship. What if someone cheated before, they broke up, and now they're in a new relationship, but they never dare to tell their new partner that they had a cheating past? Because now they're afraid if they say everything, then this partner may reject them, right? But they promise themselves that they will never cheat again. They are in for it, they're into the commitment, but cheat in the past, but they don't tell their new partner about their past. What is your take? Is that okay? Is that?
I don't think all cheating needs to be disclosed. In some cases, the cheating can destroy whatever hope they have to have a good relationship. Or in some cases, you already cheated and then you want to end the relationship and you want to really lean towards restoring and repairing things with your primary partner. Then there's no point to dig up the unhappiness, unpleasantness. Focus on what is there rather than like what is already like irrelevant. So it's not true what people say, like, oh, you need to be totally 100% transparent, otherwise it's not honest. I also had to learn the hard way, as we get older, we all have a history. I go on a date or I meet someone new, let's say an acquaintance or a client. Do I really bring out every single freaking thing in my life that has ever happened? So in the name of transparency, I don't. You disclose things as and when you believe that that is useful to the relationship or is relevant or is helpful.
Right.
But in those cases, like, it's the past, So I think they themselves have to reconcile within themselves that they are a new person.
So if that's about cheating, about the past, about all that kind of things, could we prevent cheating ultimately?
I think being able to review the relationship periodically is very important.
Review?
A lot of couples just continue their lives, get busy, make certain assumptions, and then get into comfort zone, and then just think everything is okay. But when did you ever check in with your partner, like whether they're happy, whether they're okay? So when I say a review, it is actually useful to go to someone like me who is a third party, facilitate. And we could have like a checklist of different areas of the life to discuss. And you'll be surprised, so many of my clients, they don't talk about it. They only want to talk about it in front of me.
Right.
Because otherwise it will not go well.
Right.
So it's really having a facilitator, mediator, yes, interpreter, translator.
How can actually honestly how can a couple like navigate, right, what I call mismatched sex drives without actually feeling rejected? I mean, if now I would tell my partner like, hey, I don't feel like I'm doing this with you. I don't feel doing it. She might feel like I'm saying no to her, right? How do we get that into a nice conversation?
So it's really having training around consent. What happens with most of my clients, they get to a point that they are okay with being rejected because they have been rejected many times.
Wow.
And so it's not about the rejection, but the way the rejection is done. Instead of saying no, I don't want, not in the mood, which is often the same answer, then be able to really address it. Like, for instance, I just want you to know I still love you, and I know this is important to you. Being able to address it, not sweep it under carpet. I don't feel like it. Okay, then when do you feel like it? When can you feel like it? What will make you feel more like it? I think these are more important things to ask rather than no, and then it's like they don't know where to go with that. So I do work with clients around this a lot, and it's very easy, really. Do more of what turns you on and do less of what turns you off. But how many of them really talk about what turns them on or off?
Yeah.
And what turns you on, what turns you off is different for you and your partner.
Yeah.
And being able to respect that this is their truth they are saying, and if they ask for it, then just do it. Yes, maybe you don't understand why, so ask so that you understand why. Because it's not just what. Once you know the why, you are more likely to go along with it. Okay, example, lingerie is very, very common.
Delicious.
So there was this heterosexual couple, male, asking the partner to wear lingerie, right? And then she came up with all kinds of answers about why she wouldn't wear lingerie. Male gaze, feeling sexualized, feeling objectified. So many answers, okay? And finally, I just asked him, why lingerie? So then he said, because I grew up looking at images, magazines of beautiful women in lingerie. And when I was growing up, I told myself one day I will be able to have that kind of relationship where I have sex with my partner in lingerie.
Wow.
And I was like, and then she was like, I mean, when you know the why,
Okay.
you want to give it to him, right? It's not like, I will never look like them. It's he grew up wanting this as part of his adulthood.
Yeah. And so did she give it to him in the end?
Stay tuned.
Smart answer. But I do agree with that. Sometimes, it's so important that we have a focus. Like when we love someone, we should have a focus that we want to make them feel happy, that their happiness becomes also our priority as well. So sometimes we do stuff that kind of for us is a sacrifice, but to make them happy, then I think that's part of love. Because if you talk about love, what is love? Love is to benefit someone at our expense, at our cost. So I may not really be happy doing that, but because I see you happy, that makes me happy. And I think that is also love. So
Yes. So we talk about people being people pleasers.
Yeah.
And
people pleasers.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a people pleaser. But what happens in a long-term relationship if you are always only one giving, you do get burnt out. You do get
for
tired.
sure, for
So you cannot just give all the time.
Yeah.
You also need to be okay to take. Otherwise,
100%.
this is not healthy. And also when you are a people pleaser, sometimes you forget who you are and your self-worth and your value. And so it's really important to work on your own worthiness as well.
100% solid. I love it so much. So, before we go, Dr. Martha Tarali, can you share top 3 tips for couples, for our viewers out there to protect, to safeguard, and to strengthen their relationships?
The first thing is always have a relationship with yourself, because from that self, you have a sense of what is right or wrong for you, not right or wrong for the whole world, for you. The next thing is I call it customer service. If your partner is your biggest customer, let go of all the noise. Just focus on what is important to this person. Is it the style of communication? Is it this or that preference? If this is your biggest customer, then just be very, very aware of what works for them. Not, I'm not going to change. You love me. You say you love me. I'm not going to change. Yeah. The first one is, yes, have a relationship of self. Second one is really see and value this unique person for their uniqueness. And then the third one is not going to work without some effort. A lot of couples will be busy with life, and then they will be like mean to each other, and they will not put aside time, block time, go on dates, or to have sex, and they're like, no, it needs to be spontaneous, or we'll do it when I feel like it, and then it never happens. We really, really need to guard the couple time as well.
Be intentional. People always love it when you free your time for them and not just go to them in your free time. That's a big difference in that value making. So truly be intentional and have more sex. I like that ending. Have more sex. Makes sense?
Okay, good ending.
Thank you so much, Dr. Martha, for all the insights. I love talking to Dr. Martha. I feel like now I am more westernized, a little bit more. We can be more open. I don't think I'm in Singapore. We're now in Los Angeles. But in any case, that was a great conversation. I learned so much. I feel a lot more like a sex doctor. Daddy. Right, this is so good. So all this episode, all these insights, stay tuned. We could be coming back for more. And always like it always has been. Whenever you watch this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to go and visit her website because she's got a lot of insights for you who you're curious to know more about sex and why you should be doing it regularly and why you should even masturbate. Go and check her out and then go and find out more for yourself. And also, Dr. Martha, we'll see you in the next episode of Singapore Not Tempura.
Happy ending.